Hello, everybody, and welcome back to 50 Shades of Tay. I'm Taylor Gonzalez, and my guest today has voiced Bumblebee in several Transformers projects, Fox McCloud in Star Fox Zero: The Battle Begins, and is the voice of Bruce Banner in one of my favorite video games, Marvel Rivals. I'm so excited to welcome Joe Zieja. Joe, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Tay. Thanks for having me.
Oh, well, thank you for being here. I absolutely love your performance as Bruce Banner in Marvel Rivals. It's just such a fun game, such a fun performance. But
Yeah.
before we get into that, I was wondering, how did you get your start as a voice actor?
So my story is pretty atypical. I my most of my adult life, I was actually an intelligence officer for the United States Air Force. So I had a military background. When I got out in 2012, I did some military contracting work, doing similar stuff for three-letter agencies. And then, sort of like one Saturday morning on reserve duty, kind of stumbled onto voice acting as a topic with a friend of mine. And he said, well, like I'm thinking, cartoons and stuff like that. And he said, well, my company used to hire people for like our corporate videos from this website. Music is my first love. So I have had some recording equipment, et cetera, et cetera. And so I knew how to lay down a track, but I didn't really know much else. So I went on and auditioned, and I booked the first thing I auditioned for, which bizarrely was a cartoon panda bear speaking Arabic to
Oh my
children.
gosh.
It was like a really basic, like, numbers, shapes, colors. I'm nowhere near fluent, but I minored it in college. And like I booked it right away, and I was like, oh wow, that was $100 in my pocket. How do I do that again? And so really just took to it really quickly. Brute force. I had no acting background. I had no prior experience. I did not have a professional home studio. I was not in Los Angeles. So kind of really just snowballed the career. And then about a year later, quit my job and moved out to LA to hunt different work.
Oh wow. That's such an interesting, like unique entryway into voice acting.
It's pretty bizarre. I've had a strange life.
Oh my gosh. Well, I am so impressed with your resume. I was going through your IMDb and it's just like hit after hit after hit of like all these iconic characters. Is there a voiceover role that you're most proud of, whether it's a character you've always wanted to voice or just something that's very meaningful to you?
There are two roles. When you said meaningful to me, there are two roles that mean a lot to me in different ways. One of them is Lego City Adventures. I played one of the leads in that series. His name is Duke Detain, and also like this crazy fireman named Clemens. That was cool because um, ensemble recordings where there's all the actors in the room at the same time are pretty rare nowadays. Almost always you're alone. But in this case, for this series, I did 4 seasons where I was spending hours and hours of my time with like some amazing, amazing actors. Erica Lindbeck, Fred Tatasciore, voice of Hulk, Jeff Bennett, who is the voice of Johnny Bravo, James Arnold Taylor, who's Obi-Wan. I mean, like some real heavy hitters to the point where like this is like a year after I moved to LA, or a year and a half after I moved to LA. I walked in a room, I was like, "Did you hire the right guy?" Because like feel like I'm in the wrong room. But we did like 4 years of that show, and it was a blast every time. And I just learned so much from working with each of those actors and how they approach the script and stuff like that. So that's Lego City Adventures. That's probably my most fun job I've ever had. The other most meaningful job is Achilles in a anime series called Fate Apocrypha. My love of mythology aside, that was really only, I would say less than a year after I got to LA. And I didn't know really anybody. And somehow got cast as like a leading role in a Fate series. And so I reached out to the rest of the cast and was like, hey, do you want to come over and screen it? And
Oh,
like almost all of them said yes. And so like I ended up having this kind of big party at my house, and it's how I met a lot of my friends um, in LA. It's really how I got kind of plugged into the community, and I still talk to those people sometimes like every day. So that role was really meaningful for me from like a relationship building perspective. The role itself was awesome, but that has a different special meaning for me.
oh, that's awesome. So I'm very curious, how did you get cast in the role of Bruce Banner for Marvel Rivals?
So everyone always asks those sorts of questions, like
Mhm.
how did this story, like tell me the story of how you got cast in blank. 99% of the time, it's so boring. It's I got an audition from my agent, I read it, they booked me, I went in, I recorded it, and I forgot about it for 2 years while they developed it, right? That's typically like a very video game thing. And that's sort of what happened with Rivals. The unique part about Rivals is that I went in for my first record in 2021 under a project code name. I knew it was Marvel, right? Because I obviously you walk in, it's Bruce Banner, okay, whatever. But Marvel produces so many like different projects and like little mini things, and stuff will get iceboxed, and like it never comes out again. So in this case, I didn't really know what it was. I went in and I thought it was like a MOBA, right? I thought it was a that kind of thing. Um, and they were like, "Well, we want, we liked your take on Banner as kind of a dork." And I said, "Okay, great." So that's how we ended up with that voice print. But then like the project vanished for like 2 years, and then I came back in 2023. Now they had like a trailer and they had art and they explained to me what it was, and I was like, "Oh, holy crap! It's like Marvel Overwatch. This is neat."
Yeah.
And they show me some gameplay. I started to do some stuff to picture. Started to blend lines with Fred Tatasciore, who plays the Hulk, and like start to work on that stuff. And so it was a cool project, but it took a long time. I mean, like I was recording that project for the better part of 3-4 years, which is cool. And then it came out last December and really took off. People love that game. It's
Mhm.
fun.
It is so addicting. I don't even want to tell you how many hours I've put into that game already.
Yeah, I bet it'll do that.
Yeah. So, can you talk a little bit about the collaboration process between you and Fred when creating this Hulk and Bruce Banner dynamic?
Utterly separate. I never
Oh,
spoke to
wow.
Fred. I never like saw Fred in the booth. It was I can't remember which one of us laid it down first. It might have been me because we
Mm.
only have like one or two lines that blends us together. Um, and it was just like, hey, we're gonna use you as the template, and then Fred's gonna lay over the top of it, and we're gonna blend it together. It really wasn't super collaborative, which is endemic of voice acting in general.
Yeah, no, I figured if anyone was like in the same place at the same time, it would be the two of you. Is one of the lines that blends the two of you together the I'm hulking out line?
Yes, I can't
Oh,
remember. I
so
think
cool.
there's another one, maybe on the way out, like if when you leave Hulk mode. But that's the one that like everyone hears all the time. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome that it's blended together because I thought so, but now that I know it, it's like, oh, that's really
it's
cool.
both
Next
of
time
us.
I
It slides very seamlessly from one of us into the other.
exactly. So are you playing Marvel Rivals? Like, do you stream it anywhere on Twitch or anything like that?
So I streamed really heavily for like years, and then just like my schedule got so insane. Like streaming was like the first thing that dropped off. I do try to get back to it, and it's my goal this year to get back to streaming regularly. I've streamed Marvel Rivals like 2 or 3 times. I've realized that dive tanking it takes a special kind of person, and I don't know if it's me, but like I'm there to play Hulk, right? Like I'm there to play Banner and Hulk. So I've enjoyed it. It feels a lot more chaotic because I played Overwatch for a while. It feels a lot more chaotic than Overwatch because there are just so many different things that can happen. Um, and I feel like you need to know what each of the enemy characters does in order to effectively combat them and like all the combinations. So there's a really sharp learning curve. I mean, you can go in there and just have fun, but like I like to be good at stuff.
Yeah. No, it's so fun. Since you've played it a few times, do you have any tips or tricks for people who are just getting started playing as Bruce and the Hulk?
You do not want to learn from me at all in this respect. It's really funny. I talk about it all the time. Like, I'm in this game, and your goal as the player of this game is to never be me, right? Like, you never want to be Banner. If you are, you're either, trolling your team, going, you're achievement hunting, or you're gonna die, right? Like, those are so it's fun. I don't have any tips.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
No,
I don't
that's
have
that's
tips.
great. Well, did you happen to see the news this morning about the new game mode where everyone's going to run around with giant sized heads?
No, I did not. I
Let me see
was
it.
I just found out about didn't he come up with like a punk skin, Bruce,
Oh
like he's all
yeah.
tatted up and
Hmm.
stuff, which looks super cool.
Yeah, they're releasing some really unique, awesome, like $30 skins.
So season 2 was like a couple days ago, right? Like
Yeah,
last
it
week.
just began with
Yeah.
Emma Frost and Ultron's on his way. It's such a fun season. But I wrote down the name of the game mode. It's called Giant Size Brain Blast, and everyone's going to
Wow.
have a giant head, so headshots will be a lot easier. And they kind of look like Funkos, like they have like
Yeah,
the
okay.
regular size body, but these giant heads. So I think that Bruce and the Hulk are going to look hilarious in that game mode.
I'm excited. That'll be great.
So I'm very curious, what kind of research did you do to prepare for this role? Had you already read a lot of his comic books? Did you already, familiarize yourself with the MCU version of the character?
This is another question that I get very often that has a very disappointing answer almost all the time, which is none.
Mhm.
Uh, 99.9% of the time, you don't even know what you're doing until you get into the booth,
Yeah.
right? Especially with video games. Video games, they've had so many terrible leaks and like, voice actors like leaving scripts on bus stops and stuff like that, that like they keep everything locked down. So I very rarely know what I'm doing for any game project until I get into the booth. I would say it's loosened up a little bit recently, but the fact of the matter is that when you audition, right, your voice print, like your interpretation on the character, is what they wanted.
Mhm.
And so it's probably counterproductive to then go, okay, well, now I have to change the performance because now I know that this is Banner or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Like they obviously wanted that interpretation. And so it really becomes, I say, we build the plane as we fly it, right? Like that's what we're constantly doing in the booth. So usually your audition is your baseline, and then the creative team, if they're even there, which is a luxury most of the time, they'll be like, okay, we liked your interpretation on this. Let's make sure we get this element of Banner, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, all right. Well, we do have several iterations of Bruce so far, from Bill Bixby to Eric Bana, Edward Norton, and then most recently we have Mark Ruffalo. Do you have a favorite actor who's portrayed him so far?
I mean, the one I'm most familiar with is Ruffalo,
Mhm.
right? And I like him because he is charming. You know what I mean? Like he's just a very charming Banner. He's easy to like. And I enjoyed departing from that because like I almost get the feeling that like my Banner is not easy to like. He's kind of he's a an, he's a dork, right? Like he's a dork and he's a little arrogant, which is fun. So Mark Ruffalo is probably the one I'm most familiar with. I'm not sure if I ever saw the Edward Norton Hulks.
I think that was like 2008, I
That
want
was
to
a
say,
long
maybe.
time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, a while ago now. This is
Yeah.
crazy. I can't believe, first of all, I don't know how big of a Star Wars fan you are, but I cannot believe this week is the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I saw it coming out in theaters and all that stuff, and
Yeah,
man, like I saw it in theaters when it came out. Uh,
yeah.
man,
It
yeah,
is crazy how fast these like milestone anniversaries are popping up for all these movies.
that's the only movie in my life I ever did the midnight like
Oh,
day release kind of thing. Like at midnight it starts.
mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome. I think Revenge of the Sith was the first movie I saw in theaters more than once.
it's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's the best one of the prequel for sure.
Oh,
Maybe
100% agree.
not a huge bar to leap, but that's another discussion.
No, I love Revenge of the Sith. So I was also curious what your favorite line to do as Bruce Banner is. Like when you were reading through the script, was there the one that stood out to you?
The one that I like probably the best is science solves problems, right? Like whatever, or science can solve this, or science solves problems. I think it might be science solves problems. I enjoy his 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 take on that. There's another one that I like that's a little more philosophical. It's like everyone has their demons. I just let mine out every once in a while. I like
Yeah,
that a lot.
that one's really good. And I also love something that's really unique to this game, I think, is the character interactions. So
Uh-huh.
I think if you have like Bruce with Iron Man or you have Bruce with Mr. Fantastic, like there's different dialogues you can unlock where they interact with each other. And I think that's really fun.
It's fun. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. So I was wondering if there is a character in the Marvel Universe that's not yet in the game that you would like to see introduced to the game for your character to interact with.
Is Shazam in the Marvel universe technically?
Oh no. Okay, because I think there is a character named Shazam in Marvel, but I think, ooh, that's a tough one. But there is a Marvel character that I think was renamed. Unless I'm
Maybe you're
thinking of the
right.
wrong
I'm
thing.
remembering, like, I'm remembering way, 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 way back when
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
kid, like 6 or 7 years old. And I remember there was like a Captain Marvel cartoon.
Mhm.
Maybe he just said the word Shazam to turn into Captain Marvel. I'd have to go, like, I'm reaching way back, like
Mhm.
I could, like in VHS tape land.
Oh,
Um, but that would be kind of fun just because like that's, that's fun. I can't think of anybody else like in the Marvel universe specifically that I'd be like, ooh, that'd be cool if we could see that particular person. Yeah, I'd have to think. I
For
also
me,
don't rightly know who's in the game. Like I'd have to
oh
go like
no. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's so many characters.
For me, I love getting to see his dynamic with Mr. Fantastic. And then I was thinking if there was one that hasn't been added yet, for me, it would be She-Hulk. I think that would be a cool
Yeah,
dynamic to
I
have the
would
two
dig
of them
that.
to team up together.
That'd be cool.
hmm is there anything you're currently working on right now that you're allowed to talk about?
Man, I wish. It's funny, like I'm in a really big project right now that has like a trailer out. Not a trailer, it's got like there's playable versions of the game and my voice is in it and I still don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it. So it's like I'm trying to think like do I have anything that like I can really talk about? Not really. I don't think so. Um I just had a character pop out in AFK Journey and Cookie Run, I think. But other than that, I don't have anything in my brain that I'm like, oh yeah, I can talk about that. So I better shut up.
No, it's all good. I just wanted to check because you never know.
You never
And
know.
then,
Every once in a while, you get permission prior if the company is smart. Like if the company is smart and they're like, wow, we have these voice actors that are super active on social and have a following, we should absolutely capitalize on this. Every once in a while, you'll get them pushing the throttle forward.
yeah, no, I 100% agree. I was also wondering, because I know you've been doing some signings and appearances and events.
Mhm.
Have you had a chance to run into anyone cosplaying as either the Hulk or Bruce yet from Marvel Rivals?
I haven't, but I was looking at. I've only done one signing since Rivals came out. I think. Yeah, that's true. I've only done one signing since Rivals came out. And I keep looking at his picture and going like, man, I could cosplay that. Like it's just a purple shirt, right? Like I think it would look cool. I think I have like those glasses
Oh wow.
somewhere.
Yeah, you
Really
should. You
close.
should when you get back to streaming on Twitch. You should wear the purple shirt and the glasses, and I think that'd be kind of fun to
It
see
would
you
be cool.
in character playing. But I can't wait for you to do like an appearance or a convention and have someone in green body paint come up and
Yeah,
say hello.
yeah. It won't be the strangest thing I've seen at a convention. I guarantee you. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, Joe, I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day to be here. I know we can't talk too much about stuff you have coming up, but where would be a good place for people to come and follow you for when those things are announced?
Yeah, so there's two places that I like put out a lot of content. One is basically anything having to do with Joe Zieja. It's hard to like looking for my, I'm the only one around. So joezieja.com, I've got all my socials on there. The other thing that I recently put together over the last couple years is learnvoiceacting.com, which is a place for anybody to kind of get started. We talked about my origin story at the beginning. I have no formal acting training. I had no like professional studio. I was not in LA. So my goal with learnvoiceacting.com is to sort of demystify, destigmatize, and empower new voice actors to be like, you know what, I can do this. Like if Joe can do this, he was a freaking what does the Air Force have to do with this, right? Like if he can come in and make a name for himself, then like maybe I can do it too. So we've helped lots and lots and lots of students book their first jobs through that. So learnvoiceacting.com or joezieja.com are pretty much where I live on the internet.
That's awesome. I'll make sure to put some links in the description of this video so everyone can come and check it out. But Joe,
Cool.
thank you again so much. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too, Tate. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Bye.
See ya.